Next, listen, I think that your logic's flawed. Sorry.
Well, I mean, trying to avoid it, yeah.
Trying to avoid it?
I mean, I don't want to, it's hard once you start trying to pick this stuff apart because it's kind of opaque and difficult to suss out what's going on. I mean, it's interesting, but it's hard to, it's hard to suss out what
not allowed in
is,
Canada.
you know?
Yeah.
What do you think about everything that's going on? You got any hot takes?
With what?
I mean, I'm trying to keep my head down and make money, to be honest.
Well, submit me and then I'll argue about it later.
He's kind of like, we're doing a political show series type thing, that Sam Hyde show. I did that Dear Elon video.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's fucking scary and confusing. Everything's like...
Yeah, but so if you're saying you're trying to keep your head down and make money, then how do you even need to talk about politics?
I don't know.
Because it's like...
Wait, no, as I understand it, Sam, you are a very political guy. Everybody warned me that you have a very political stance, I don't know. They like said, don't hang out with you.
Who they said that about him?
Everybody did. Yeah, they're like, oh, no, I'm doing all that. I was like, oh, shit, I got to see who this guy is. That's pretty awesome. Obviously, you're saying something shocking and avant-garde I don't know about because I didn't research it. But if you want to address that, that would be helpful.
Just I don't think white people should go extinct.
I see where you're at.
What do you mean,
bro?
That's not our choice exactly. What do you want to do? You want to go Elon Musk some cum at every girl that you see? You got a breeding fetish? I'm asking, seriously.
What's the
I don't understand.
Solution to white genocide?
What do you mean genocide, bro? People ebb and flow a million years. We're all the same. We just have different skin tone, whatever.
I would disagree.
I mean, look, genes are expressed in a variety of ways, but you're not so different from the man sitting next to you. This racially ambiguous Indian, Mexican, who knows?
Filipino.
Looks so Asian.
Exactly, bro.
Asian.
Filipino.
All right. So you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't even know what this guy is. So
That's awesome.
Do you think that he doesn't have?
Yeah. I mean, all the time people tell me like, "Oh, yeah, you're racially ambiguous." I'm like, "Oh, that's
not with that you're racially ambiguous, but do you think that race doesn't matter and that everybody's the same?
Nah, I don't think that everyone's the same.
Sometimes, yeah, I'd be thinking like, man, those people should not be together.
They should not be together.
Yeah, I'll see like, I don't know, man.
Wow, Azure the Ace, thanks for your 5 summer, buddy.
I don't know.
Let it rip, bro.
I mean, like I'll see like a black guy with a white girl. I'm like, no. But if I see like a white guy with a black chick, I'm like,
Why? You know what? He likes the underdog story.
Yeah.
I get it. All right. Now, at first I thought you were racist. Now you're just like romantic. I get it.
Yeah. You're racist a little bit.
I mean, look, it's a natural right that people are racist. Like, you want to argue with that? Like, look, it kept you safe for a billion years, right? But the reality is, we got to punch that out of our own head because I don't think that it benefits society or humanity as a whole to like think like this. They have to segregate each other. You know, let the chips fall where they may, I think.
And just breed till everybody's the same color?
Yeah, it's going to happen eventually one day. If we have like Futurama, we could just go to Hong Kong. It's going to be homogenized eventually.
Or we just turn into robots.
Yeah,
I would disagree, but that's all. That's all I disagree with.
Yeah, I get it. Now, listen, you have your right to disagree. I don't think that people should cancel you for that or whatever they call it.
There people trying to cancel you?
I think they should cancel me for that. It's a threat.
Oh, what are you trying to eradicate the other races? Because, bro, you're sitting next to this guy. Don't you tour with this kid? Jesus Christ, the Filipinos don't deserve to live. We're taking out all the Filipinos.
Who said Filipinos don't deserve to live? What do you?
Oh, I thought that's what you said.
Why would you think?
Well, because they lived on an island and they all had to hump in the island.
But what does that have to do with anything I said?
I think it's kind of beautiful, the Philippines. They have the best looking people. They're very friendly. They like to sing karaoke.
You can't lie. This is funny to me.
No, I didn't know we were going to do.
You said something about karaoke?
Yeah, hell yeah, get down.
Yeah,
Get down. I bet this guy knows at least 2 songs.
Filipinos invented that.
Really?
Yeah, they did. They're really good at, yeah, that's why they sing so good. And they're really good at pool too. I just started playing pool. I'm like, I'm kind of good at this.
Is Bruno Mars Filipino?
I think so.
Yeah.
He likes crystal meth.
He's a great singer. He likes crystal meth?
Who's is this guy over here? Is this Mayhem? Is that who the guy is?
He's up to. He's
My mom smokes crystal meth.
Wait.
Well,
How do you know he smokes crystal meth?
I just heard about it.
you see how he does this, bro? I stole it. That's because my dad.
I think it's from the pipe, you know?
He's a former MMA fighter and insane person.
God.
That's a pretty cool podcast.
So you've been divisive lately then?
There's a concerted effort to make white people feel like they shouldn't exist, and I think some of what we do, not all of it. I don't like to be overtly political. I'd rather be funny than be overtly political. Yeah. But some of what we do is a pushback against that, and that's kind of where it ends. It's not like an I'm definitely not anti-Filipino.
Oh, that's a shame.
But it's not really an
I was hoping we were just going to
anti-anybody sentiment.
I was
It's just
hoping that this was like
if you're white, have some self-esteem type sentiment. If you're white, you should have self-esteem. Like you shouldn't think that your race should be obliterated off the face of the earth. Which is a lot like
great self-esteem. I don't feel like they're trying to kill us or trying to get rid of us.
So your case is a little different. You believe that people are all the same and that race is only skin deep. It's just
It's
color.
not skin deep. It's cultural. Yeah, of course, we're all different.
Yeah, but
I'm
you're
saying we're not
wrong.
so far away
You're
where we have
wrong.
to genocide people or something.
You're wrong.
Where your logic goes, okay, we got to stop talking to the kids I coach that are black or something.
Who said that?
Or I can't date a girl.
I trained at a black gym. Who said anything like
that? That's what I'm saying. So, all right, fine. But what what are you saying? You're just saying that.
That's what I'm trying to ask.
I don't feel bad about being white. I'm just saying I'm a white guy. I don't feel bad about
You're saying an end result 50 years from now, something like that, where everybody's the same color, which means that white genetics, which are recessive.
Sam is purposely mask on here, right? He's not mask on. He's just being endlessly pedantic because this guy, for as wacky as he seems to have a. He's arguing this. I didn't expect a guy that sounds like this to say the word homogenized. I don't know how else to put this. I don't know how else to say this. So Sam might be a little bit intimidated to wheel out his actual arguments. But remember what I said before. Sam is actually playing directly into the neo-Nazi kind of stereotype argument dialogue trees that I talked about before, where you can never tell a neo-Nazi, oh, you want to eliminate all this race, or oh, you hate these people. They'll say, whoa, actually, I don't want to eliminate anybody. I think I love people so much. I think they should all have their own spaces. You know, I don't want to kill all the blacks. I just want them to enjoy their space in Africa like we enjoy our space in Europe and America. And I don't think we shouldn't talk to anybody like that. I think we should all talk to each other a ton. And that's why I don't want to erase all the races and make us all one brown race, you know? Sam's just playing that game endlessly instead of actually expanding on anything he believes. Although maybe they'll get into it. I don't know.
Oh, can I finish, bro?
Yeah, sure.
If you're interested, you don't have. If you're not interested, let's talk
Sorry,
about
man. Sorry.
Let's talk about video games or something. If you're not interested,
Like he's super triggered. It's so disappointing. Sam has got like the most or I guess it's better if someone else figures it out than me, I guess. Sam has a very coherent understanding of like kind of the new, like the kind of like the neo-Nazi or I'm not calling it neo-Nazi, I don't know, something else, this new kind of like white identitarian stuff. He does a good job at putting it out in his videos, but man, he seems like he has a really hard time defending it in real life, I guess. I don't know. Maybe he's got the dialogue trees and some of the points down, but he can't actually defend them if you have to push a little bit past the level 1.
Nah, come on, white boy.
are you interested?
Listen, I'm listening to you. Come on.
You're interrupting me.
Excuse me, I didn't know you were making this entire theorem, but go ahead. You're saying that.
It's not an entire theorem. It's just one point.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
I want to hear it
Right now.
If you don't want to, listen, I think that your logic's flawed, and I'll let you make a point. No problem.
let's hear it.
I think your logic's flawed, but I don't feel the need to interrupt you.
Fine.
Because it doesn't need to be.
Excuse me, you're right.
This type of like meta break, people have done this to me a ton, and I see people do this all the time where it's like, okay, well, prove. You were saying that 1 + 1 = 3? Yes. Let me explain how 1. Okay, that sounds crazy. Oh, you interrupted me? Okay, sorry. Explain. No. You interrupted me? Yeah, I'm sorry. Go. No. You want to keep interrupting me? You want to talk about something else? No. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Explain. Oh, no, we can talk about something else if you want. We don't have to talk about 1 + 1 = 3. You're like, okay, bro, just say your shit. Jesus. This like kind of weird like meta macroing of the conversation where like, well, we can talk about video games. Like that Sam's been doing for the past minute is like massive insecurity, in my opinion, on the part of the arguer, I think. Yeah.
It doesn't need to be an antagonistic thing, bro.
Like he's,
But it is, because it goes contrary to my entire worldview that, you know, human beings are just all trying to get by. Like we're not, you know, it's like you're making a gamify where, oh, there's never going to be white people. Yeah, dude, you definitely will have, any kid you have is going to have a light skin hue, even if it's with a black girl. So there you go. You got your piece of the genetic pie. But why? Like, what are you angry about?
Why do you think I'm not angry?
Okay.
You didn't seem angry.
No, you don't see.
yeah, I'm not angry. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm not this. I'm not that. The lav debate tactics. There's got to be a name for this. Do we have a name for this?
I'm angry, but it seems like the logic is, oh no, white people are not going to exist, but we will.
Well, let's hear it.
Yeah.
But why is this something that touches a nerve for you?
Because
Oh, and the immediate pivot, the immediate deflection. Sam must have the arguments for this, right? Or
I think that it's more important that ideas move forward throughout time. Like not necessarily.
Sam Hyde is a theater kid at heart. He performs the neo-Nazi stuff well if he's unchecked. He can't really debate because he can't set up his dominoes unchecked. Maybe, I guess. It's so annoying not to be able to see people have, just to be able to have conversations about the things they believe in, I guess. I don't know.
Necessarily your genes. As a martial arts coach, I love that I do some moves that live my art, that show my art, and it lives on when I'm long gone and dead.
That's cool.
Yeah. So to me,
But
not so much I got to jizz on every girl that I see because, oh no, you know, that's what I just have a different mentality. But why does it mean to not let you get?
Why does it make you angry though that I have this mindset that's different from yours?
I'm not angry about it. I'm just vehemently opposed to this mindset. It seems divisive. And here in Los Angeles, we're going through a divisive time right now where it's like hating each other for, oh man, look at the melanin in his face. Or look at his mom is smoking crystal meth. I hate her.
She's cool.
Okay. She does me.
No, let's hear this though.
Yeah,
I want to hear your perspective.
I would disagree with you. To me, the idea is that people of different cultures and races, they are unique. And I believe that people that look like me and share my genetics, I believe they have a right to carry on their legacy, their lineage into the future. And I don't think that needs to be a hateful thing or a divisive type thing or something where it means that we're better than somebody else, anything like that. I just think that we have a right to exist. White people do.
Right. So in you saying that you're, or I'm assuming that you're making that point out of some sort of effort for that to not happen.
I think that's I would like to contribute to it not happening. Yeah.
Right. But so you're assuming your point is basically saying that there's another side, something or someone.
Oh yeah. There are many. I mean, So life is a competition for scarce resources, and there's different. There are different types of. There's different ways to wage warfare and to do invasion, and some of these ways are passive, like outbreeding people. It doesn't even require malicious intent from another group. If you have two distinct groups, I mean, you see this in nature all the time, where there's one that has a either a K or an R type breeding strategy, whatever. They just people breed. People have higher fertility, and those groups come up against each other. The group with higher fertility, if they're not like actively fighting, just wins out.
Different races of humans do not have K and R selection. It refers to like entire groups of species. Like, do you have like 1 million babies and to hope that some survive, or do you have high investment offspring? All human beings follow the mating strategy of high investment offspring. There are no, is it K selected, or like where there's a human that can pump out 1 million babies and hope that some survive? But okay, should have read a few more paragraphs deep into that wiki page, but.
For the resources in that area, and the group that has lower fertility loses out. So it's partly a natural thing, and then there are also people who do this by design, that want to see white people going by design, and so they're doing stuff to like manufacture this result.
Like moving out to Utah and having 8 wives, and then you get a bunch of Mormon kids.
Oh no.
Good strategy.
But so where do you think that's coming from then? Like you said, obviously naturally that's a thing that happens naturally, and there's people with higher fertility rates in certain places in the world.
Yeah. So where do you think the manufactured part is coming from?
Yeah.
So there's an interesting thing that if you see this is just one example, but if you have a diverse workplace and you're like a big corporation, one of the byproducts of having a diverse workplace of like multiracial people working for your company is that there's less group cohesion. People tend to ask for raises less, and people tend to want to unionize less, and they kind of just keep their heads down and mind their own business when there's no like homogeneity. How do you say it?
Homogeny?
No,
Homogeneity?
Homogeneity.
Well,
in
you
that
have
group.
this Filipino guy, right?
I think it's homogeneity, right? And heterogeneity? Heterogeneous? I don't know. I mix these words up too all the time.
Here, for instance, if we were all on a mission and we had a karaoke machine, who the hell would run this thing? Mayhem's not doing it. I don't know how to work that. You got it?
My white ass.
What?
I got it.
I might be able to
It's
run
got to
it.
be Damien.
Look, you just disproved your theorem
Good
right
with
there
electronics.
with the guy you can tour with.
Also kind of look Filipino too.
Really?
But there's
Different ethnic groups do have different fertility rates, though, right? No. There's the people might have different amounts of children, but I'm not aware of any like ethnic group of people having a substantively different ability to create children. I don't think, I just don't, I'm sorry, hold on. I'm about to get triggered. I think you guys just, that's fine. When people, there are some species whose goal is to have like, I think bunnies do this. Like they have so many kids. I'm pretty sure the fucking mom like eats half the kids when they're born. Like some species will have dozens or 100. Like the goal is just make so many kids, at least enough survive in order to pass on more children. R versus K selection, this is a theory also, it's not like this is 100%. It's not like the difference between like, oh, that person had 3 kids and that person had 8 kids, right? It's like, it's the difference between like this person has 1 child at most every year and this thing has like 15 kids in a litter. It's a completely and totally different thing. If somebody wants to talk about different races having different amounts of kids, and they're talking about like the fertility of races, or they bring up RK selection, this guy is on way too deep into some 4chan board or on some crazy. I've never heard of, unless there are some rare diseases that might affect some people. I'm not aware of any inbuilt fertility difference to any different race of people. These things are all cultural things. Get triggered.
wow, but like
Italian or something?
Yeah, you nailed that.
corporations though, they want cheap labor, and they want labor that's not going to complain. Yeah. So that's like that's an easy first level thing for like who wants to bring Mexicans, Indians into this country. It's these companies that want like Mexican laborers or Indian H-1B tech people so that they can pay them nothing and keep them here like slaves.
And you think that's part of this?
That's one of the layers of this, like who's pulling the strings? Why are they trying to get rid of?
You're damn dead right about that, Sam Hyde.
Just
This
flips white people
strategy is employed in a lot of different businesses where you get, labor either unskilled, the guy, the normal, Mexican guy at the chicken plant, right? Or tech jobs, Indian guys. I know you're famous hiring Indian guys, huh?
Yeah, all the time.
And
Asian pregnancies last 4 months. I heard that Catholics were able to have babies like every 7 months, but that's part of the reason why, especially in the Northeast, part of the reason why is because lumber was so scarce when they were having children, they would actually use the extra babies to feed their fire pits. And that's why so many houses in the Northeast still have them to this day.
Got mad.
he's a smart guy, this guy.
You have a bunch of Indian hires?
No.
Oh.
But listen, no, I saw this one time. No. Anyway, but he's right. The HB, what is it?
H-1B.
Ooh, the visas, yeah.
These smart guys, hey, you better work in this code. If you don't write this code, guess what? I'm going to pull your papers.
And
Guess what?
they're
You're back
reminded.
to India.
Yeah, they have
Back to,
they have to accept like working conditions or they go back to India.
I know jobs could be on American coders, but yeah, this is an interesting thing.
What do you think the point of it is, though? Like of your overarching idea of like the white genocideness.
Just curious, why do you think Sam is flailing here? Is he being ironic or acting like he's dumbfounded or a bit irritated by Mayhem challenging him? I think that unfortunately what happens is I think that people learn dialogue trees, or they learn, like I said before, you learn like discrete facts. And when you learn things discreetly and you don't practice using them in a conversation, there's something to be said for being able to dynamically, I don't just say these words randomly, okay? I say these words randomly. There's something to be said for being able to dynamically engage with something in an integrated fashion. So when I say dynamically engage, I mean, can you prompt me, can you say something to me with different words or in a different way, and I can still access the relevant idea, okay? And then can I engage with the conversation? Can I assemble an answer in my head and then give you that answer back in a way that is responsive to your prompt, okay? And then as we have this conversation, can I like integrate the things that you're saying, like put them into the knowledge in my head and then continue to generate responses in a way that makes sense. This is like a skill that you have to develop, right? Debating, I guess, or conversing about a given topic. And some people either aren't good at that or don't practice it or whatever, but it's a very different thing than just doing the YouTuber video essay thing.
I think that white people resist tyranny when they have.
And in my opinion, I feel like the neo-Nazi stuff is very akin to flat eartherism, to where if you're well versed in it, I don't think an ordinary person should ever be able to win a debate against you, right? Because the surface level stuff for the neo-Nazi stuff is, in my opinion, is very hard to argue against. Different race is not just skin deep. Different ethnicities of people. The phenotype is not just the way that you appear, it's the way that you act. That's why we see totally different cultures emerge from totally different parts of the world. In Europe, where a lot of Europeans look similar, a lot of similar cultures have emerged. In Asia, where a lot of people look similar, their culture is similar. In India, they have their culture. In America, we have our culture. When you import people from other places, they don't just bring their skin color, they bring their culture. It's detrimental to white people, etc. Like, there's a whole line of argumentation to go down there. But it feels like Sam isn't able to do that dynamically. He has to just, I guess the guy in chat says set up the dominoes. He's like, okay, let me remember my script. And that sort of feels like at least
sort of white genocideness.
I think that white people resist tyranny when they have racial cohesion, when they have like early Americans. I think there's a thread of like anti-government, anti-authoritarian, like pro-freedom of speech. I think white people tend to be the most outspoken for stuff like freedom of speech, and that's why they got to be one reason why they got to go.
Interesting. I mean, that's why America started, essentially.
Bunch of fired up white people.
Yeah, they were like, these taxes, we're out here. Yeah. So how long have you been how long has it been a part of something that you think about or that you are interested in?
I mean, over 10 years. This is why our first show got canceled, is because I wouldn't shut my mouth about this type of stuff.
It got canceled on which platform?
Adult Swim.
Oh, it was canceled from a network?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
So you had a show and on other content you were talking about it, and then they canceled the show.
Yeah, we did the show. We had one sketch. There was a music video called Jews Rock.
Since the beginning of recorded history, the white man's been coming up with technologies, cultures, civilizations worth keeping, worth saving, worth giving a damn about.
What happened to your boulder, Goy?
I don't know. I wasn't looking. Next thing I knew, boulder's gone. I guess I'm a stupid Goy. You're white.
Yeah. And the only lyrics were Jews Rock. And they saw this. They saw like we had at the time we had a subreddit which was it wasn't outwardly super racist, but it was just like a free speech, anything goes type subreddit where just people are talking.
Right. What was the subreddit?
It was our $1 Million Extreme subreddit.
Okay.
And they told us if you shut your subreddit down, there's a chance we'll let you stay on the air. And I knew as soon as you start apologizing for anything, it just makes you, they want you more and more powerless, and they want you to like be a lapdog basically. So
the contention was that it was anti-Semitic, because this is what I heard about you. That's the only thing I heard. It was that this guy's anti-Semitic. So
that was part of it.
Are you or?
So my recollection at the time is it wasn't this necessarily that got him in trouble. I thought it was or did this phone call come after? Oh no, this might have come after. But I think he was saying weird stuff behind the scenes as well. Like a lot of people were getting an inkling that it wasn't just memes. I think I think this is a phone call in reaction to the cancellation. This is what caused it, but
correct. And it's something that would have flown, 10 years ago. It would have been fine. It's
okay.
Stuff.
Well, I'm sorry, dude. I've had shows canceled. Everyone gets shows canceled. You can feel bad about it. Pick yourself up.
I'm blacklisted. I'm not canceled. I'm blacklisted. You know what that means, right?
Well, listen. This is not my fault. This is not my fault, Sam. Okay.
All right.
Nothing to do with it. This is
Well,
the
I hope
choices.
I hope you enjoy life.
Okay.
Damn, dude.
I try to enjoy. My back is killing me. Like I said, I've gained a lot of weight. I've got my daughter has a cold right now. I'm not walking on clouds every day.
Dude, I can't afford health insurance. What the fuck are you talking about? Your back hurts. Get my show back.
Okay, I'm gonna get your show back, Sam.
All right.
Well, geez, be careful out there.
Now, Andrew, it's coming to you.
Jesus Christ.
How do we hear? Am I crazy? At some point in this phone call, doesn't he like outright just say that like Jews got a show canceled? I'm trying to remember what the.
He didn't leave anything. He didn't didn't have any shows there.
Left because they weren't buying the shows. They stopped because they were
Okay.
weird. A dinner in America is weird. It's uncomfortable to watch. It's not funny. It's not exciting.
Okay.
Nobody is on.
All righty then. Sounds good. Very well said. All right. Very interesting.
Was it a BuzzFeed call? Oh, I don't remember which one it was. I just remember the phone call that I heard. It was a phone call that he had in relation to. It might have been maybe it was him being asked about like he donated $5,000 to the Daily Stormer, and it was an interview about that. But it was the first time I'd heard a phone call of him, and I was like, oh wait, is this guy like actually? Is this guy actually like anti-Semitic? I don't think he was I don't think he was like a full-on neo-Nazi yet, but I don't know. I'm too loose about it. Somebody go find it.
Or you're not.
Yeah.
Destiny has such a hate boner, LOL. If you think that I have a hate boner for Sam, this is the most honest commentary you will ever get from somebody who disagrees with his ideology. I am probably the only person online of my political persuasion, or maybe of any political persuasion, that has given a fair shake and has spent a substantial amount of time debating these people. So if you think that I have a hate boner, you have so much neo-Nazi shoved down your throat and up your ass simultaneously that they are meeting together in the middle, like Michelangelo's painting of God with the tips touching and exploding the middle of your body, okay, with white isolationist. You're so pathetic, all right? I'm being as dispassionate and as factual as I can on this, okay? I haven't screamed at him. I'm not just calling him racist or whatever. I'll deal with what he says at face value, but don't get ass pained over it, okay?
Yeah, no, I am. Yeah.
Oh, you're anti-Jew.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so this is a bold statement.
Not
You're anti-Zionist.
not in a way
That's
where
the latest thing
not in a way where I like see a Jewish person. I'm friends with like Harley, but I'm not like anti every Jewish person that I meet. But they're definitely in positions of power where they're exercising their power in a way
To get rid of the white people.
that is definitely unfair and unjust. Yeah.
They worked their way up to that position, though. These guys, invented Hollywood, right? They're clever, and
They did
look,
invent
I think
Hollywood,
Jewish people are smart. Like
They're clever. They have.
but that's no reason to hate them. That's like player hate.
No, it's not. I'm not saying I hate them because they're good at Hollywood.
No, but what do you hate them for then?
Well, they're sort of at the upper echelon. Is it echelon or echelon? Echelon. They're at the upper echelon of academia, finance, politics in this country.
So shouldn't white people earn that the way they did?
I mean, if you want to live in La La Land, sure, but if
No, but it's
they
like
should
a
be,
meritocracy.
they should be at
It's
the
not-
top. They should be at the top of this industries in Israel.
But you believe in meritocracy, I assume, right?
No,
'Cause
I
you-
don't.
Oh, okay. So then, but you think you're a comedian, so if you be funnier than everyone else, they'll book you everywhere
I
else. right?
am funnier than everyone else, and they don't book me anywhere, and I don't care because I don't believe in meritocracy.
Oh, hilarious.
That's not funny. I believe in power.
So you don't mind saying that you're anti-Semitic?
It doesn't make me feel good. I don't want to be. I'm not a hateful person. Like I don't want to see anybody suffer, and I'm not like a, but I'm not whatever. But look at what they're doing, bro. Do you think?
Like I just feel like it's so stupid. Like, oh man, I'm gonna become a pro-Palestinian neo-Nazi someday. I'm just gonna have all these arguments. Like, why would you say why are you calling me anti-Semitic? I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm fine with Jewish people. I just wish they wouldn't try to destroy white people, right? The same way that I wouldn't call Nat Turner and his friends racist against whites for rebelling because they were slaves. I wouldn't call myself anti-Semitic for being against Jews who are controlling, right? Like you can go down these lines of dialogue without giving up. There's like a special hatred in my heart for people that do YouTube videos but can't have conversations about the things they believe in. Okay, it triggers the fuck out of me.
What do you think about it, man?
About which part? About
They're actually, dude. How much money do you make?
I make a good amount of money.
You make
a ton of money in taxes.
You see this sweet-ass house we're
Do
at?
you make like 10 million a year, more than that?
I mean, I don't really share it, but
Oh,
So
man,
imagine.
this
So you're
guy-
paying, you're paying what, like 5 million in taxes?
I pay a lot of money.
So do you know that money is going to pay for genocide?
Is that tax deductible?
Is what tax deductible?
I mean, it is if you're Boeing or Lockheed Martin or something. But like you and I are both paying for people to be genocided.
Yeah, it's
And listen. This is the thing. If somebody like punches you in the face, that's an immediate wrong against you. That's tangible, and you know that this person means you harm, and they're not good, right? Like it's right there. It's happening. It's tangible. If I abstract away the immediacy of a fist in your face and like physical violence happening to you right now, and let's just say I make it so that the currency that you trade, by the way, do you know what you trade for money? You trade your time, which is
Your
your
life.
life's blood.
Right.
So to some people, money's the root of all evil. Like I understand that. Money's like gambling, cryptocurrency. There are parasitic ways to make money. But if you're a regular person, if you're working your ass off, if you have more than one job, if you have a family to feed, you're trading your time and your life's blood, your energy, what you have, what you've been given here on this earth, everything that you've been given, you're trading it for money so that you can use it to pay for rent, food, shelter, whatever, everything else, right?
Why is it?
And so if I make it so that this thing you trade your life's blood for is worth half as much by printing more of it, by directly taxing you, the twin grist mills of taxation and inflation, I'm stealing from you your life. I am vampirically stealing from you your life.
I understand.
Is that worse than a punch in the face?
I think it's the worst thing you could do.
Okay, so there we go.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to take that money and use it to like drop white phosphorus on
So
people.
I guess my only question I have to that is like, do you think that's just an Israel thing, or is that also our government?
No, it's certainly, I mean, our government and Israel are probably so intertwined that it would be like, you know, it would be a Herculean effort to try to unlace them. But no, that's a tendency.
Because it's not just a Jewish thing.
No, for sure. It's people in positions of power who get there parasitically, and people who want power for power's sake, which is, these people are all drug addicts. If you see the who's the Zelensky? He's always on coke. But every world leader, people that aspire to that level of like you aspire to be a media person. Imagine if your aspirations were 100 times stronger than they are, and you need to be the most powerful person in the world. These are like cokehead of cokeheads, like the top level.
You think they're all just doing coke?
Yeah, they are.
Really?
No, because political.
Was the Zelensky Coke meme, was that originally about Zelensky, or was that about Macron? Is he mixing them up? Or is there another meme about this?
Power, it has the same effect on the brain that cocaine does. That's why they go together like that.
So they're just constantly searching for that high.
I'd just like to announce that I'm running for governor of California.
Nice.
Not gonna lie, I would love to do that.
What's that?
Governor.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little baggy thing. I think that was, well, it was a napkin, but
You want to taste?
I just feel like, you know, because I was thinking about it, I'm like, could this dynamic actually change? But I feel like anyone gets to that point where they're in any sort of position of power, and then someone just maybe comes like, hey, what about this? You know, we can give you this if you keep doing that.
No, there's mechanisms in place to ensure that if you get to that level of power, you're not really effective at doing anything other than.
So do you think the dynamic ever changes?
I think the dynamic, it's similar to this thing called Amara's law, which is it has to do with technology. And Amara's law is the idea that technology is overestimated in the short term and underestimated in the long term. So for example, with AI comes out and everybody's like, oh my God, AI is changing everything. Turns out AI is not really changing everything. It's just a better search engine. However, long term, people probably, even the top tier people that are like thinking about AI all the time, they probably don't have a vision for what this technology is going to do to our civilization long term. So like similarly with political change, I think that the change, it probably comes less from immediate short-term action, the type of thing that people think you need to do political change, and it probably comes from like weird left field, unexpected asymmetrical things. Like Bitcoin, I think is a good example. Like Bitcoin, I think is going to sneak up and change a lot of
Because it's not being as controlled.
Because with Bitcoin, you can't print more money.
Right. There's only so much of it.
Yeah, and the printing of money is what's used to finance war and all these various.
Yeah, but what happens when the government just regulates Bitcoin? Somebody has to.
I mean, that's a threat. The regulatory capture of Bitcoin is a threat, and that's like a fight that people who are into Bitcoin are going to have to keep fighting.
Do you think that ever happens?
I think it's possible, but the reason that wouldn't happen is because the sort of rich insiders like BlackRock, they've built and are continuing to build their Bitcoin position, and once those types of people have it, they're not going to want to see it devalued. Which I think if you mandated some change to the base protocol layer of Bitcoin and somehow were able to enforce it, I think it would just be mayhem and everybody would dump it and move on to like Solana or not even care about cryptocurrency anymore.
what is he even talking about? Don't you need a majority of the people who are working on Bitcoin in order to fork the project? How do you just change the base layer of Bitcoin
So it's a game theoretic thing that's like morphing over time, and it's hard to see what the future is, but I believe in it long term.
Yeah.
I bought all my Haktua coin.
Oh, you did that?
Yeah. I can't wait till it
Comes back? Yeah, I don't know.
Coming back any day now.
I don't know, man. That might be now.
What do you think so? You think I should sell now?
I mean,
Holding. All right, I'm holding. Yeah.
diamond hands.
Yeah.
Diamond hands. Diamond hands on tour coins? You guys are crazy.
Yeah, man.
So do you have this conversation a lot? Do you find yourself having this conversation a lot? Not about crypto, but about this power dynamics in the US.
About race type. I mean, all this stuff. I like to avoid it, but it's like kind of hard to avoid when there's riots popping off 20 minutes away. So I understand.
Yeah. Do you plan to go visit any of the riots?
We were just like probably 5-10 blocks away. We were in.
I just came from there, bro. It was awesome, man. We were throwing rocks. Man, you know what I mean? It was
You were throwing rocks?
Yeah, we killed the cop. It was awesome.
What is going on? I was waving it. I was on top of the Waymo. Man, those Waymos and burned them all.
Yeah, those things, man. Set them up. Just light them up.
Good time. He was a star, bro. He was a star.
He was dancing. He was dancing
On
on
the
the
incident, I took some cop's gun out of his.
Bro, he had a skateboard, bro. They shot him 12 times, okay, with the rubber bullets. He walked it off. Look at him like a boss.
Yeah, he's got the Filipino flag. It's like a Mexican flag.
Okay.
Watch your feet. Watch your feet.
Beautiful bill is nothing but probably the biggest transfer of wealth from poor to rich, from young to old, and from the future to the past.
I don't think I could. I think I would actually never debate Kevin O'Leary. I don't think I could do it because I have like a strict rule against like characters. I just don't like arguing against characters. It makes me feel stupid, like it's just a joke, and the other person's being a memer, and I'm like taking it seriously and I feel like an idiot. I feel like Kevin O'Leary is he's not serious when it comes to his politics. I think he literally does it as a meme. Like he's kind of like laughing. He's just talking. I don't think he actually believes in what he says. I think it's actually 100% just meme. I think.
Kevin mentioned small businesses. Like him, I've started and run small business. We're very sensitive to interest rates, and when you get to a point where the interest expense on the deficit is greater than your defense spending, nations go out of business. Nations unconquered, they go broke. And this type of fiscal irresponsibility, such that Kevin and I can have a tax cut that removes somewhere between 8 million and 13 million, depending on if you're listening to Republicans or Democrats, from the rolls of Medicaid, and creates this continued bipartisan, irresponsible approach to our fiscal management. Yeah, George Washington to George Bush, 7 trillion in deficits, and since then we've racked up another 30 trillion. Let's be clear, it's been both Democrats and Republicans. But until at some point there's an adult in the room and we get our fiscal house in order, all we're essentially saying is we want our children to have higher mortgage, credit card, and student loan interest payments and have a more difficult time starting businesses. So I think Kevin and I both agree this is irresponsible. I would argue that Republicans' solution to this recklessness is to cut more funding across the most vulnerable. And yet corporations have their lowest tax burden since 1929. The wealthiest 25 Americans are paying an average tax rate of 6%. And I would also take issue, Kevin, that portraying the IRS as some sort of oppressive army. DOGE wants to cut the IRS by 40 to 50%, which will inhibit our ability to collect taxes that are owed. No one's showing up and harassing anybody. They're supposedly somewhere between $200 and $600 billion a year in what's called the tax gap. And these are the taxes that are legally owed that the IRS doesn't have the ability to collect because they are understaffed. For every $1 you invest in the IRS to audit the 0.1% and collect the taxes that are actually owed, you get $27 back. So essentially what the Republicans have done, in my view, is said, we're here to serve
on Mark Fisher? Don't know the guy.
The 1% and defenestrate and emasculate our ability to collect taxes on them. And Democrats, the top 1%, pretend to care and clutch their pearls privately in dinner parties while going along with this because they know they're about to get wealthier at the hands of this tax cut. Put another way, the top 5% are going to see a tax decrease. The bottom 95% are going to see a tax increase. And the biggest tax increase is going to be on future generations. They're going to have to pay back these irresponsible deficits.
Studies show that strength training burns more fat than cardio alone and is critical for maintaining muscle mass and bone density as we age. Jacked Up Fitness has the perfect content discount.
In fact, I don't consider them.
.com.
The IRS, I have no problem with them collecting their taxes. In fact, I don't consider them an enemy at all for small business. I work very hard through many of my companies to make sure they're compliant with the tax code because nobody in a small business can afford to be audited. It's just too difficult, and they don't have lobbyists. They have to just make sure they comply. What I don't want to see happen is a change in policy. Forever, you've kept your records for 36 months, whether you're a big or small business, and that's the way it's been in perpetuity. And it's also been in perpetuity that there is no statute of limitations on investigating fraud. So there's no need for the IRS to put this overhang over businesses that actually hurt, I estimate, their value by 20%. Who's going to give them a loan when they have a multi-million-dollar lien on them through this perpetual audit for 9 years? So that's one issue. But let's go back to this idea that there is no statute of limitations on investigating fraud. So there's no need for the IRS to put this overhang over businesses that actually hurt, I estimate, their value by 20%. Who's going to give them a loan when they have a multi-million-dollar lien on them through this perpetual audit for 9 years?
How often does that happen?
Years. So that's one issue. But let's go back to this idea of the competition of nations. The reason you want to be in the middle of the G20 and corporate tax rates is tax money doesn't have any loyalty. It's very promiscuous, and so does investment capital. It goes at the path of least resistance. And so if all of a sudden you hike tax rates to where you're in the bottom quartile in terms of productivity and competitiveness, the money just leaves the country. And you don't want that to happen. We don't need the lowest tax rates in America. We need to be in the middle where we sit right now. Just look at a place like Abu Dhabi, where it's 9% tax rate. That's why billions, if not trillions of dollars from around the world is going there and incorporating there. They're not incorporating in Washington, D.C. or Boston, Massachusetts, because we're nowhere near 9%. You got to keep that in mind. And also, we can't get away from the fact that small business, 5 to 500 employees, create the majority of the jobs. There is no American economy if there's no small business. There's 70% of job creation. And so you don't want to do anything to hurt their abilities to compete and maintain their staff and grow their businesses. And when you start to mess with corporate tax rates, that's exactly what happens. We don't have a lot of flexibility. Now, I agree. Is there waste in government spending? That was the whole Doge idea. There is. Elon never found $2 trillion, but he only worked on it for 130 days. But the theme is now embedded in everybody's head, red and blue, that there must be a perpetual audit of government, and the brand is called Doge, and that's okay. But now this bill that is trying to get through, and everybody's taking a shot at it, and I'm one of them as well, this bill has to pass just to protect competitiveness on tax rates. Now, how we get there, this is sausage being made, and Trump is unusual as a president. He doesn't mind keeping the cameras rolling while you see everybody going at each other. That's what he's doing. So you're watching sausage being made, but I think there will be a sausage. Not sure it'll be by the middle of July, but I think it'll happen in August at least. And what it looks like, we don't know right now.
Okay, Scott, just tangentially to all this, part of Elon Musk's anger might be connected to two other things going on with his life. One is the impact of his political activities on his business, particularly Tesla. You've seen a real backlash where he went from being the liberal darling, with people racing out to buy a Tesla to establish their liberal leanings, to being somebody liberals want to torch the Teslas because he was MAGA. So you've got that going on, and the direct impact on his bottom line, and some initiatives coming in, obviously, at government level, which are impacting on electric cars, for example. And you've also got a multiple number of reports in newspapers in the last few days about his alleged extensive use of drugs, including ketamine and ecstasy and Adderall. Let's talk about Elon for a moment. He's gone out in a blaze of mayhem with these posts. But if you look at him and his brand, how damaged has he been by the last few months?
Well, it ends up here. So traveling around with your own pillbox of Adderall, ketamine, ecstasy, and mushrooms while cutting off funding for antiretroviral drugs to pregnant women with HIV, such that right now, according to the Associate Professor of Global Affairs, Brooke Nichols, there are 1,500 babies being born HIV positive because of these cuts. It ends up that when the wealthiest man in the world is killing the poorest children in the world, it ends up that's bad for business. And you have European nations that have seen a decline in Tesla sales anywhere from 20% in France to 65% in Northern European countries. And in the US, sales are down 11%. Right now, Tesla sales are declining faster than any automobile company in the world. So his brand, the Tesla brand, according to Ipsos, has gone from the 7th most aspirational brand in the world amongst the likes of Apple and Microsoft and Amazon to the 95th place. So I think people have decided, I mean, quite frankly, this distinct to the morality of what estimates are that 300,000 children
This bill will make it prohibitively expensive to become a doctor or a lawyer. What med students need to know about new student loan changes. That's a whole bunch of shit to read. Get fucked. Fuck doctors. I'm just kidding. Dean mentions destiny.
Gags. You know, like, I mean, I'm kind of like done, like, with this, like, messaging from the right that, like, if you care about anything and you're on the left, you're just automatically a soy boy, right? You know, like, we even, like, see this perpetuated by some people on the left, you know, like, even, like, Destiny with, like, full, like, game over mode on me. He was like, oh, like, you know, this Dean guy sucks. His Reddit was doing nothing but talking about me for, like, a month straight because I was like, hey, man, microaggressions are cool. You know, it's like, we can attribute a level of wrongness to these things, okay? And because we can attribute a level of wrongness to these things, it obviously entails a conclusion that, like, we shouldn't use these terms. We shouldn't say these things, okay? You know, like, let's just be slightly better people. Let's not use these terms. Let's be better. All right, move on. You know what I mean? But then,
why? I hate this. And they're doing it. And it's just everybody's lost to it. I need to retire. I gotta get out of here. Why can nobody ever restate the other side's arguments fairly? Are Dean and Parker just lost to the wokies? Is that just the inevitable trajectory of every single person that gets on all? Like, if that was your position, I wouldn't have said shit. I would have been fine. Like, listen to this position.
We can attribute a Dean guy sucks. His Reddit was doing nothing but talking about me for like a month straight because I was like, hey, man, microaggressions are cool. You know, it's like, we can attribute a level of wrongness to these things, okay? And because we can attribute a level of wrongness to these things, it obviously entails a conclusion. But, like, we shouldn't use these terms. We shouldn't say these things, okay? You know, like, let's just be slightly better people. Let's not use these terms. Let's be better. All right, move on. You know what I mean? But then,
literally nobody would have a problem if that was your position. Your position with you and the rest of the dick sucks that worked with you were, we have to quit this entire fucking thing. We disavow the entire organization. We'll never, we're so sorry we even fucking went on these fucking events. We're so sorry. Like, there was no level of wrongness. You binary to literally fucking Satan that you ascribed like satanic motivations on the other side. Like, if it was just like, yeah, you should like do like, I've defended the concept while this shit was going on. I defended the concept of microaggressions. I think they're fine. I think it's important to be able to talk about them, and I think it is good to not use them. The problem is you guys are the ones that went,
like ballistic on it. But now he's presenting himself as though he had a reasonable opinion on it the entire time. You didn't. Your opinion was unhinged. And that's what I was responding to. If this was your take the whole time, I'd probably just be in agreement the whole time.
Then guess what? World War fucking 3. God, man. What's going on, Jake? How do you?
World War III, motherfucker. That's like blaming the United States for starting World War II. What are you talking about? Holy shit, you guys were already at war before I came in. Why do you think I was even commenting on it? Holy Christ. Like, I don't understand how nobody can have a fair take or ever... Trump falling down just like Biden. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, guys, keep deconstructing. Microaggressions deserve macro reactions. True. What's going on with Ayla? Why is she so mad? I think I had some shock when I saw how positive the reception was to the Decker photo. What is the Decker photo? It was overwhelmingly called him base. Chad, respect for him increased. I knew it would be better than the way people treated me, but I didn't think I'd expect that to be so huge. My meme hitting on me is cool and feel by disgust, response, and sexism. You can gain points to your local tribe by signaling that you think I am stinky or riddled with STDs or emotionally broken. Other people laugh at your jokes. This is weird to me because personally the Decker photo was by far the most unsettling thing I've seen out of her. Wait, what was the Decker photo? Click. Okay. Asman is live right now bashing the LA protests. Ugh. Oh, God, fuck me. I need to do a DNS, like, redirect. Fuck me! You still have, like, a hosts file somewhere in Windows, right?
Report to the police, as we had in that Wisconsin case,
right.
The perps are going to get right out, and then they're in danger. They're undermining the very thing they were trying to do.
Yeah, that's a really great point. And of course, now we're in a situation where you literally have, out in LA in particular, you have police who are not going
Black
to
smoke is bad.
keep
Yeah,
order
I don't think that's good for your
around
lungs.
all of these riots, and you have President Trump having to order in
Like,
national.
how do you let people just sit on the fucking sidewalk here and throw rocks at cars? Like, and this is the big issue that I have. Right?
I mean, probably true. You can't have people throwing rocks at cars. That is true. Do you see everybody's completely hinged response to this? As you all know, I was the 100th person to have recreational sex with Ayla girls. So last night I forced her to tattoo a 100 on me. She has never tattooed before. I'm very happy to lose that. Wasn't this guy like obsessed with her or something? I don't know. Don't care. this? Son and Vivian doing impromptu dance battle during a genocide? The thing about Stephen Miller is not that he is the brains behind Trumpism. Yes, he is one of the people who conceptualizes the impulses of the Trumpist movement and translates them into policy. That's not what's interesting about Miller. It's not brains, it's bile. Miller is a man who is originally endowed with the capacity for hatred. He's a world-class hater. You can see this just by looking at him, because you can see that his hatreds are his spiritual nourishment. He eats his hate. Trump is a world-class hater, but his hatred only a means to an end, and that end is his own glorification. That's spiritual. ABC senior news correspondent suspended for this tweet. Hey. Did you ever watch the Zoran debate thing? Nope. I mean, you probably shouldn't be tweeting this if you're a news correspondent. It makes you... Well, if there is a correspondent, is that a person that... I mean, you probably shouldn't be. It's base, but like, you probably shouldn't be, right? He was suspended 1 hour after Vance and the press secretary complained and called ABC. Well, that's not cool. Zoran Mamdi is asked about the JQ.
Visit by a mayor of New York is always considered significant. Where would you go first? Left to right, Ms. Adams.
First visit, I would visit the Holy Land.
Mr. Cuomo?
Given the hostility and the anti-Semitism that has been shown in New York, I would go to Israel.
Mr. Tilson, where would you go? Would you go first? Left to right. A mayor of New York is always considered significant. Where would you go first?
5,
Left to right, Ms. Adams.
4,
okay.
3. First visit, I would visit the Holy Land.
What is this question?
Mr. Cuomo?
Given the hostility and the anti-Semitism that has been shown in New York, I would go to Israel.
Mr. Tilson, where would you go?
Yeah, I'd make my 4th trip to Israel, followed by my 5th trip to Ukraine, 2 of our greatest allies fighting on the front lines of the global war on terror.
Mr. Mamdani.
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
Mr. Mamdani, can I just jump in? Would you visit Israel as mayor?
I will be doing, as the mayor, I'll...
What do you say?
Terror. Mr. Mamdani.
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
Oh. Wait, is this the Zohan guy? That's a based answer. Fuck all those virtue signal bullshit. I'm the fucking mayor of New York. I'm not a goddamn the world ambassador. Based.
Mr. Mamdani, can I just jump in? Would you visit Israel as mayor?
I will be doing, as the mayor, I'll be standing up for Jewish New Yorkers, and I'll be meeting them wherever they are across the 5 boroughs, whether that's in their synagogues and temples, or at their homes, or at the subway platform, because ultimately we need to focus on delivering on their concerns.
And just yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
I believe Israel has the right to exist.
Not as a Jewish state?
As a state with equal rights.
He won't say it has a right to exist as a Jewish state. Be very
And
clear.
his answer was no, he won't visit Israel.
I said that.
That's what he was trying to say.
No. Unlike you, I answered. Unlike you, I answered questions very directly.
My goal would be to take my first trip to Israel. My wife's life work in this area means a lot to our family.
What is this fucking? What is this cuck? What is this cuck? Who will go to Israel first? I will go the day after the election. I will book my tickets in advance, just in case I win the election, so I can fly immediately. I will cover the election results from Tel Aviv. I will be in Tel Aviv. One guy calls in on Zoom. I missed the debate today because I'm already in Israel watching. I'm already in Israel watching, just on the off chance that I survive the primary round so that I could be in Israel when it's announced who won this debate.
Oh, yeah.
Foreigners are watching, and it's like, what is this again? Ambassador position? President? Is it a congressman? No, this is the mayor of New York City. New York City. Is that like the capital? No. It's just a city in the United States. But there's a lot of Jews there. Okay. And what does New York City have to do with our policy on Israel? Absolutely fucking nothing. But god damn it, they better go visit that fucking country. Okay. Yeah, they get to the fifth person. They get to the fifth person and they're like, when, and you, sir, when would you go to Tel Aviv? When would you go to Israel? And the guy answers, wait, say it. Do the thing. No. I was gonna have Google Translate speak Hebrew and didn't. He answers in Hebrew. He's like, one guy starts doing his bar mitzvah in the middle of the fucking. Okay. UFC is almost unwatchable at this point. The non-stop mandatory juggling of Trump's ball is actually insane. Did they talk about Trump a lot at UFC? Los Angeles, 2025. Ace. Trump was at UFC last night. Hit a cop, you're going to jail. Doesn't matter where you came from, how you got here, or what movement speaks to you. The local police force won't back our men and women on the thin blue line. We at FBI will. Except the ones Trump pardoned for assaulting us on J6, right? True. Truth bomb, yes.
That's a guy firing a gun twice. That's a guy firing a gun twice while at the Capitol on January 6th. He's a Trump supporter named John Banuelos, and he was arrested for gun charges because of what you saw in that video. Were also convicted and sentenced for carrying guns into the Capitol that day.
Complainant both saw a stock of an AR-15. He's gonna be with a group of individuals, about 5 to 8 other individuals. Weapon on his right hip. Weapon on the message that's up.
Why these fucking retards climbing up trees like they're bears? Are these guys like from Kentucky? Do you guys do that? Like when there's enough of a crowd, like we gotta climb that goddamn tree. We gotta get up there. We gotta get a vantage point.
Weapon on his right hip. After that, he's in the tree.
Motor 1, make sure PPD knows they have an elevated threat in the tree south side of Constitution Avenue. Weapon on.
Bear spray, body armor.
Video be simply jammed that none of them had guns. That firearms and 2,500 rounds of ammunition. And he went to prison for 2 years.
Cleveland Meredith Jr. was arrested soon after the insurrection.
Who carries their rifle by their fucking vertical angled foregrip? Who does this? Oh my god. That should be a crime in and of itself. Bro, what are you doing? What the fuck? Or is that normal? Do people do that with foregrips? What? Also, why does this look like Conan O'Brien? Was he there?
Agents found he drove hundreds of miles to D.C. and brought 2,500 rounds of ammunition and 2 guns with him.
But it's too late for the truth, because despite all of these examples and more,
they're all pardoned.
The no guns lie has been repeated so many times that it has now become reality to those who support Trump. And why is that even believable to them? Is it because they would never support carrying guns into the Capitol that day? Well, listen to the video.
That was just a starting gun, by the way. Those were blanks. Where's the It's like, wait, what?
We can take that place.
This guy.
And then do what? Heads on pike! Heads on pike! Pike!
I was like, wait, what?
Watch your feet.
Did Ukraine just go through a massive
Watch your
power
feet.
spike out of nowhere? Russia, are you okay?
Watch your feet.
Russia's ships get
Watch
blown
your
up
feet.
everywhere. Damn. We will take back America. Elon is fucking your wife, bro. Damn. Kalinsky unhinged. Now, like, Aspen pulled the clip of Epstein saying he was Trump's best friend. True.
There's not a single person. I mean, there's no reason to relitigate this over and over again, but there's not a single person out there that actually despises everything I stand for that has consumed my content directly. They have consumed my content either indirectly.
Why did he steal so many of my talking points? Why this guy is an insane copy paster, bro. Holy shit. These people, the people that don't like me, only consume the content of people that create. Is he about to start saying simulacrum? They construct these caricatures of me by reacting to only portions of my content, if that, on stream. This guy literally watches a TikTok called Destiny vs. Destiny, and he's like, and then he complains about this. He has the audacity to complain about this because he's copying my criticism of him.
With 17-second increments of clips, or they used to consume my content and they had a severe bout of anger when I said something that they disagreed with, that they internalized heavily, and they could not deal with that back and forth, and then that caused them tremendous resentment. What was once tremendous love and admiration turned into tremendous resentment and anger, and now they are super enemies. I also do think about this quite a bit from the perspective of, I try to convince Mike to watch it. He says you're too old and bad advice. So I said to him, wait, is that why you don't listen to me? He said yes. That's fine. I will also say this. Okay. The sphere that we're in, I know several people who stop watching because you're taking on Raise Cookies. Raise Cookies mean Pokemon. See, this is what I mean. People are playing a game of telephone. My take on Pokies Cookies were, of course, they're expensive. Every single fucking content creator is doing a content creator tax. Your hyper focus on Pokemon Cookies is not because you, I don't know, it has nothing to do with like anything serious. It's merch packs. People do it. I'm one of the few people that doesn't do it. Ironically enough, and everybody fucking yelled at me for it.
Doesn't do what? Wait, he says doesn't do merch? Or doesn't do what? Oh, merch tax? What is merch tax? He doesn't charge tax on his merchandise? That's up to the federal government. Or what does that even mean? He means markup? There's no markup on how much does this shit sell for? Sun, Piker, merchandise. So the cost on these t-shirts is $35. There's no markup whatsoever on any of these? The $70 hoodie is with no markup whatsoever? Oh. Didn't the dye workwear guy like reveal that these were made in fucking like China or whatever? Am I crazy? Am I making this up? He means that merch is overpriced to support the creator. He means there's no profit after his employees are paid. Wait, he has no employees. What do you mean? Do you just mean like the merch company sells it at cost? That's what it would mean. You just sell it at cost, right? I feel like from what I've seen of like Hassan listing merch, I feel like it's about in line with like everybody else's costs. I've never seen this is cheaper, but I wonder if there's just extra inventory, but it's from older drops. The Vault. I took a look at Hassan's shop. He appears to use t-shirts made in the USA at a shop run by the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. Well. They are having no optics in the conflict. Yeah, he's doing irons, bro. Oh, this doesn't even have irons. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. He's a killer. He's a stone cold killer. He doesn't need sights. This is hip fire only, dipshit. Why would you put sights on a hip fire only rifle? Yeah, there's no markup. How can you do discount prices unless it's something else? My guess is going to be that for his sales, he holds inventory, and that if they don't sell out completely, then they discount the remaining inventory so that they can at least like clear it out. But they must. There's got to be some markup. There's got to be some markup.
I feel like I have a grasp of it, so I'm very curious what you're.
I'm gonna make two. Doing all I'm saying is.
D-Man, check my email with a new logo for you. Yeah, Jacob, I saw it. Thank you so much. We're working on putting it across all my platforms. We almost got it complete. Just work. Okay. Based. All of his items are made to order, so it takes 6 to 8 weeks to ship. Oh, I don't know why I would discount anything then. I have no idea. Joe, we're gonna explain how he started liking
bullshitting everybody. The quote about Trump, or the narrative about Trump, has always been that he's bullshitting everybody. That he's a con man. He's definitely very persuasive. You know, Scott Adams has wrote about this pretty much in depth about how well.
I'm at like. Imagine unironically citing Scott Adams for literally anything. What?
Trump practices the art of persuasion. Mm-hmm. You know, the art of the deal. He's great at making people his friend and making relationships. And if you're his enemy, fuck you.
Wait, how old is this clip? Is this recent or is this like years ago? Because I would still ask again. Like, what deals did he make? What relationships did we get? Like, what happened?
It was scorched earth. You know, it's like this, and there's fear of that. You don't want to get on his bad side. There's all this, like, there's this art of, like, how he negotiates, and it's gone through this years and years and years of business. But that's him. That's the guy's right there. You could talk to him about everything and anything. He's right there. He's not protecting any of his ideas. He called a girl he's allegedly slept with horseface when he was the president on Twitter.
That's so funny.
It's the wildest.
That's so funny. He fucked her. So what, does he like to fuck horses? Is that... What?
Shit, so you're getting what you get. That's who the guy is. And you love... I like him. I've grown to like him. I had a much more negative opinion of him back in the day because it was... There's only so much you can pay attention to and do deep dives on before you lose your fucking mind. And with him, I was always like, oh, that guy, they grab him by the pussy guy. Like, it's probably not good for the country. That seems crazy. But as time went on, I was like, oh, you need a guy that is completely crazy to expose how corrupt the whole system is. And how they all collude together. And how they all say this. There's all these montages of clips of news organizations saying the same narrative outright.
This is so... God, it's so cringe.
Over and over, verbatim, word by word. They're getting fed this by someone, some entity, they're somehow or another they're collaborating. And they're all choosing this very specific narrative, and they're running with it, and they're trying to destroy people with it. And I saw them do it with me.
Yeah.
I saw them do it with me during the COVID thing. And it was all motivated by the pharmaceutical drug companies and the profits. And they were terrified that someone's going to come along and somehow or another put a notch in this.
Like Trump literally did warp speed, which was one of the biggest pre-buys to pharmaceuticals in the whatever. This is whatever.
This little thing that they've created, which is a devious little thing that they've done, where they eliminated all sorts of other remedies. They cut out all these generic drugs that possibly could have been used to help people. They denied people the use of monoclonal antibodies. They pushed the fucking shit out of this one thing.
Denied? What? Okay.
So they could make money off of it. And they did it in collusion with the media. No one acted like a journalist. No one looked at the excess deaths. No one looked at the instances of myocarditis in young people. No one looked at any of that.
How do you even know the numbers if nobody looked at it? Why would we even have the numbers to talk about then?
There was no journalism. It just showed everyone that the whole system is bought and paid for. It's all corrupt.
Yeah, like, didn't Lil Bro literally get monoclonal antibodies? What does he mean they didn't let anybody get it? What is he talking about?
And the only way you can find out who a person really is to listen to them talk for long periods of time.
Shut up. Demon. Shut up. That's funny. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Whoa!
Target change. Watch your step.
Bro. The right is very much. Shut up.
President Trump wants to act.
Shut up. Ugh. Okay. All right. Listen, I'm still recovering. I feel sick. I will make it tomorrow or the day after. I will be 100% again. Ugh. It's because I didn't get gigavaxxed. That's what I need. Tomorrow I would go to the hospital. I get 4 million vaccines, so I will never get sick again. Okay. Connections. Okay. Ugh. Uh-oh. Last born, bred, doe, stand, spouse, bear, education, cash, dove, hold, loot, stay, occupation, hawk. Things that you hunt? Like you can go bear hunting. Why do you go doe hunting? Do they not hunt the male deers? Isn't a doe just a female deer? And then doves and hawk. Do you hunt doves?
Sarahs Wiegen, Space für Genossen. Bedeutet Klassenkampf von unten und oben Minderheiten links liegen lassen, Fragezeichen. Ich bin gespannt auf dieses Video, denn wenn Sarahs Vegan Space geskriptete Videos macht, dann kriegt sie sogar gerade Sätze raus und vielleicht stimmen wir sogar zu in dem einen oder anderen Punkt. Weil das Thema an sich ist ja anschlussfähiger für mich als die letzten Videos, die wir von ihr geguckt haben. Und ich glaube, sie hat nach wie vor Simone de Beauvoir nicht gelesen. Vielleicht aber ja ein anderes Buch. Das ist auf jeden Fall spannend. Ich habe jetzt nur manchmal in Reactions von ihr reingeguckt, da sagt sie halt die ganze Zeit nur hä oder Alter. Aber wie gesagt, geskriptete Videos, ich habe ein bisschen höhere Erwartungshaltung als an ihre Streams. Bin gespannt, was dabei rumkommt. Vielleicht ist ja am Ende sogar gut. Danke sehr, Olong Johnny, und danke sehr, Only Bear, für eure Primes. Warum ist das so leise? So, ist immer noch leise, ne? Danke sehr, Rollo.
Aber Minderheiten links liegen lassen?
Der Effekt, Alter, das will ich nochmal sehen, wie so die Seite wechselt.
Aber Minderheiten.
Gleich wird sie so gespiegelt.
Links liegen lassen?
Zack! Cool. Geiler Effekt.
Hi, ich wollte mal etwas zu diesem Klassenkampf versus Kulturkampf-Dilemma sagen. Ich habe
das Klassenkampf versus Kulturkampf-Dilemma. Ob Sarah weiß, was ein Dilemma ist?
ja schon sehr häufig in meinen Videos betont, was die Problematik ist, wenn man keinen
Alter, macht die White Power Dog Whistles. Guck mal hier. Hier. Sarah, was sollte das? Hallo? Was ist das?
keinen Klassenkampf macht, aber auch die Problematik, wenn man Minderheiten schutzlos dem System ausliefert.
Danke KB für dein Prime. Na, wenn man den Klassenkampf konsequent durchführen und gewinnen würde, dann profitieren am Ende die Minderheiten ja eh automatisch mit. Ja, weil viele von deren Problematiken ja auch Klassenproblematiken sind. Und dann wäre das direkt mitgelöst. Allerdings ist das etwas schwieriger zu erreichen, als zu sagen, wir ändern jetzt ein paar Wörter und machen ein bisschen Safe Space. Es ist aber wahrscheinlich auch effektiver am Ende.
Ein Kampf meint in erster Linie eine Systembekämpfung von unten, die Arbeiterklasse erhebt und den Kapitalismus abschafft.
Die heißt ja schon wieder 2. Dilemma scheint also böse Dogwhistle zu sein. Ich bin auch, was Dilemmata angeht, non-binär. Und ich mache vielleicht auch mal ein Trilemma. Oder ein Quadlemma. Irgendwie sowas, ne? Oder ein Anzahl Unbekannt-Lemma. Weil man weiß das gar nicht genau, wie viele. Ne? Es könnten die sein, aber es könnten auch noch viel, viel mehr sein. Wer weiß das schon. Danke sehr, David.
Der darauf aufbaut, was er erhebt und den Kapitalismus abschafft, der darauf aufbaut, Strukturen zu verfestigen.
Meint ihr, hat sie das verstanden oder hat sie das auswendig gelernt? Es wirkt immer so, ne? Wie, wow, mir wurden jetzt die Augen geöffnet. Hier vor einer Woche habe ich mal so ein Video geguckt und jetzt muss ich das der Welt beibringen. Und ich glaube, ich habe es verstanden.
Kampf meint dagegen den Kampf um Symptome des Systems. Entweder auf der Seite der Diskriminierten, meist links, oder der Diskriminierenden, meist rechts.
Sehr akkurat zusammengefasst. Ja, oder es gibt halt Leute, die mit in diesen Kulturkampf reingezogen werden, weil sie selbst betroffen sind und man sagt, diese Person hier ist betroffen und du nicht. Also wir wollen zwar eine Änderung machen, die dich betrifft, aber die betrifft dich eigentlich doch nicht und du hältst jetzt die Schnauze. Ja, weil es kommt ja einfach nur was dazu und du musst halt ein bisschen Platz machen und ein bisschen abgeben an irgendwas und du lässt uns jetzt hier einfach knallhart durchregieren, halt die Fresse. Ne? Das kommt halt auch öfter und dann ist es manchmal gar nicht links und rechts, sondern manchmal ist es einfach, wir haben irgend so eine wirre Esoterik gefunden, wo wir einfach sagen, so, das ist jetzt der Stand der Wissenschaft. Wir haben zwar keinen Wissenschaftler, der das sagt, aber die Wissenschaft ist sich einig und deswegen habt ihr euch gefälligst jetzt anzupassen und alle Leute, die sagen, ey, warte mal, an was sollen wir uns anpassen? An das, ja, aber du kannst das nicht belegen. Dann sagen die, meistens rechts. Nazi.
Im Spektrum Links- versus Rechtspolitik.
Im Spektrum.
Weil, naja, Linkspolitik meint ja, dass...
Ist links und rechts eigentlich auch ein bimodales Modell?
Alle Partizipierenden einer Gesellschaft.
Linkspolitik, Gleichberechtigung innerhalb Gesellschaft. Okay.
Gleichwertig berechtigt sind, während rechte Politik auf Hierarchien aufbaut und diese verfestigt.
Das stimmt, aber wie behandelt man es denn dann, wenn Leute sich als links geben, dann aber immer wieder auf eine Art argumentieren, dass doch Hierarchien geschaffen werden? Und dass Hierarchien wieder mehr herausgestellt werden, als sie vorher wurden. Oder dass man diese Unterschiede extra nochmal betont. Und dann sagt, ja, früher wurden die einen von dem anderen unterdrückt, deswegen ist es jetzt okay, wenn man es mal andersrum macht, weil das ist dann ausgleichend für irgendwen. Ne? Aber wo man auch sagen könnte, wir machen Universalismus und ihr seid von jetzt an einfach auf einer Ebene. Ihr werdet jetzt, so gut es geht, gleichgestellt. Also das ist doch irgendwie schon sehr vereinfacht.
Deswegen ist häufig es so, dass auf dem rechten Spektrum diskriminierende Strukturen notwendig sind, um eine Hierarchie aufrechtzuerhalten.
Es wäre cool, wenn du so eine Tafel machen könntest und dann sowas sagen würdest wie Rechte trinken Bier und Linke schminken sich. Aber dann gibt es jetzt auch Linke, die ein Bier trinken. Was ist denn das? Ja, gibt mehr als 2. Das fände ich ganz gut.
Während die linke Seite das versucht aufzubrechen und deswegen auch häufig sich diese Narrative der Unterdrückung anschaut.
Es klingt halt, sorry, aber es wirkt wie so ein Referat, wo man am Ende eine 4 für bekommt. Oder du kriegst so eine Nachfrage vom Lehrer und improvisierst dann einfach. Und meistens ist es so, die sind so und die sind so und dann meldet sich einer aus so ein Mitschüler und sagt, aber wie ist das? Und du sagst, ja, die sind rechts und die sind so.
Und so kommt es dann zum Kulturkampf. Vor kurzem habe ich diesen interessanten Kommentar unter einen meiner Reactions hinterlassen bekommen. Und ich stimme zu, dass Geschlechtsneutral...
Ach, wir müssen den selber lesen. Ich dachte, du liest uns den vor.
Meiner Reactions.
Also, da steht, geschlechtsgerechte Sprache ist weniger wichtig als eine Sprache bzw. eine Argumentation, welche auf Klassengegensätze hinweist. So gibt es etwa Urlauber, die nicht arbeiten müssen, weil sie genug Geld haben bzw. andere für sich arbeiten lassen. True. Ich finde auch immer sehr interessant, wie die Bedeutung von Arbeitnehmer und Arbeitgeber verdreht ist. Weil der Arbeitnehmer, der macht ja die Arbeit, der gibt ja eigentlich Arbeit. Es ist ja Arbeitsplatzgeber und Arbeitsplatznehmer, aber das ist dann, der Geber ist der Großzügige. Ja, der steht oben und sagt, du darfst für mich die Rüben aus dem Boden ziehen. Ja, ich bin großzügig und erlaube dir, dass du das machen darfst. Ja, und der Arbeitnehmer, ja, der muss das dann machen. Der steht dann da 8 Stunden auf dem Feld, zieht irgendwas raus, der deckt irgendwie die Dächer oder sowas. Das ist ja eigentlich andersrum. Das hast du vom Känguru geklaut. Nee, ich habe das gar nicht gehört. Ich kenne von Känguru-Chroniken kenne ich nur das allererste. Aber kam das da auch? Ist ja auch relativ naheliegend, ne? Aber ja, auch da, also bei einem Arbeitslosen zum Beispiel, da ist es sehr schlecht angesehen, wenn der den ganzen Tag auf der Couch rumlungert und Alkohol trinkt am Tag oder sowas. Aber keinen Fingerkrumm macht. Aber wenn du 10 Millionen in irgendwelchen ETFs liegen hast, dann kannst du so viel Champagner trinken, wie du willst. Ne? Dann kannst du den ganzen Tag am Strand liegen und kannst das Geld verprassen, machst auch keinen Finger krumm. Kann sein, dass du das geerbt hast, aber das ist dann classy und da hast du es einfach verdient. Weil irgendwann hat da mal irgendwer für gearbeitet, ne? Hoffentlich. Und es nicht irgendwie weggenommen. Aber ne, das ist, ja tatsächlich, da könnte man wirklich mehr in die Sprache gucken und da die Unterschiede festsetzen. Man kann auch bei solchen Figuren wie Jens Spahn sagen, der beklaut die Allgemeinheit und der arbeitet nicht richtig, sondern der macht da irgendwelche Schummeleien und zieht uns das Geld aus der Tasche, ne? Von meinen Steuergeldern, ne? Was die Rechten immer gerne sagen, wenn jemand arbeitslos ist. Sagen wir, von meinen Steuergeldern will der einfach wohnen. Während du dann gleichzeitig solche Figuren wie Merz oder Scholz oder Spahn hast, die ziemlich eindeutig große Mengen Geld sich in die eigene Tasche geschoben haben mit irgendwelchen schmierigen Deals, die meistens gar nicht so ganz legal sind, aber dann windet man sich doch irgendwie raus. Da geht so viel Steuergeld drauf, das kann ein Arbeitsloser in seinem ganzen Leben gar nicht an Sachleistungen oder an staatlichen Geldern bekommen. So viel Geld, wie Jens Spahn gerade mit der Maskenaffäre vernichtet hat, so viel Geld, wie viele Bürgergeldempfänger brauchst du denn dafür, dass die dieses Geld irgendwie bekommen könnten oder verwenden könnten? Das steht ja in überhaupt keinem Verhältnis. Ne, da könnte man tatsächlich mehr Fokus drauf legen.
Hinterlassen bekommen.
Achso, warte, sie liest ja gar nicht. Ich muss lesen. Wir sind hier in der Mitte irgendwo. Ganz egal, welchem Geschlecht sie angehören. Also geht darum, ne? Reiche Leute müssen nichts machen. Urlauber, die Lohnarbeit leisten müssen mit... ja, hier. Und es gibt Urlauber, die Lohnarbeit leisten müssen, mit der sie andere reicher machen. Richtig. Ganz egal, welchem Geschlecht sie angehören. Welche Verbundenheit gibt es denn zwischen einer Frau, die reich ist, mit einer Frau, die arm ist? True. Ne? Also die Milliardärstochter, die ist völlig weit entfernt, komplett weit entfernt von der Lebensrealität der meisten anderen Frauen. Also die wird einen ähnlichen Körper haben, wenn es jetzt um Probleme geht wie seine Periode haben ist unangenehm oder sowas, ja, dann kennt die das natürlich auch. Oder wenn man sagt, vielleicht hat sie mal einen Dickpick geschickt gekriegt oder sowas. Allerdings kann die Superreiche dann teure Anwälte auf dich hetzen und dir das Leben schwer machen. Das kann halt nicht jede Frau. Ja, also die armen Frauen leben doch eher das Leben wie ein armer Mann als wie eine superreiche Frau. Das ist tatsächlich ein Punkt. Diese ganze Vermögens- und Einkommensungleichheit, die ist ja bei der Identitätspolitik oft so ein bisschen zu wenig beleuchtet. Das wird jetzt mehr und ich finde das gut. So, Das Gendern ist eine bürgerliche Ideologie zur Verschleierung wesentlichen Gegensätze. Das brauchen Klassenkämpfer nicht. Ich biete dazu jedem Interessierten eine Debatte ein. Meine Mailadresse findet ihr in meiner Kanalinfo. Finde ich einen guten Kommentar. Stimme ich größtenteils zu. Ach, Zella ist jetzt im Chat. Wir wollten eben dein Video gucken. Haben wir dann nicht gemacht, weil du verschwunden bist. Wir gucken das vielleicht morgen.
Und ich stimme zu, dass geschlechtsneutrales Gendern keine Lösung ist. Aber das behaupten ja auch nur Menschen, die gegen das geschlechtsneutrale Gendern argumentieren, dass es irgendein systematisches Problem lösen soll.
Moment, es gibt beim Gendern verschiedene Varianten. Wenn ich sage, liebe Zuschauerinnen und Zuschauer, ist das auch gegendert. Es ist halt binär gegendert, aber es ist gegendert. Ja? Ich kann sagen, hallo Zuschauer und sage, ihr seid alle mitgemeint. Ich kann die Zuschauerinnen auch namentlich ansprechen oder ich kann sagen, liebe ZuschauerInnen. Ich kann sagen, liebe Zuschauis. Ich kann sagen, es gibt ganz viele Varianten. Und das hängt natürlich davon ab, was man selbst für ein Modell von Geschlecht in seinem Kopf hat. Und für die meisten Leute funktioniert ein binäres Geschlechtsmodell, wenn die sich einfach auf das biologische Geschlecht berufen. Wenn man jetzt noch auf das Soziale eingehen möchte, auf das Gender, also nennt man auch so, Gender ist ja das soziale Geschlecht und nicht das körperliche. Da kann man dann sagen, wir wollen gerne eine Anrede, die für alle schön ist und wir wollen für alle die Pronomen respektieren. Das Blöde dabei ist halt, Pronomen benutzt du ja nur, wenn die Leute gar nicht anwesend sind. Und du musst dir die dann auch alle merken. Und die Leute können die auch noch ändern. Aber es fällt ja vielen Leuten so schon schwer, sich die Namen anderer Leute zu merken. Und dann musst du dir zusätzlich auch noch das Pronomen merken, während du die alten Pronomen in der Regel ansehen kannst. Also du siehst eigentlich so gut wie immer, ob die Leute eher männlich, eher weiblich sind. Da kann man dann sein, dass man da mal was vertauscht und dann ist es vielleicht sehr unangenehm, aber selbst bei den Leuten, die transitionieren, da sieht man dann ja auch meistens, dass sie transitioniert sind und denken, okay, die Person möchte jetzt wahrscheinlich ein anderes Pronomen, das sieht man. Aber wenn es dann halt irgendwie Xim, Xir sind oder so, das kann man ja nicht wissen. Ja, ist auch doof, dass man in Deutschland they, them benutzt, wenn Deutsche sich so schwer damit tun, das TH auszusprechen. Dann hast du so Deutsche, die so richtig peinliches Englisch reden und sag mal they. Die so, they?
Aber das ist nicht so. Es ist keine systematische, sondern eine kontersymptomatische Behandlung. Das Ding ist aber, und das ist mir schon mehrmals im Diskurs aufgefallen, dass häufig von systemverstärkenden Maßnahmen geredet wird, wenn es um Maßnahmen geht, die Minderheiten einen Diskriminierungsausgleich bringen. Und
die lenken halt ab von den anderen Themen. Das ist, glaube ich, das Problem, dass man dann, ich habe das auch von Leuten schon gehört, dass die in der Linkspartei oder in anderen linken Gruppen sind, dass die sagen, ey, wir wollen jetzt hier bei der Linken gerne diskutieren, wie wir das mit den zu teuren Mieten angehen könnten. Und dann meldet sich irgendwer und sagt, wir sollten erstmal mit unseren Pronomen und wir sollten erstmal, wir müssen erstmal hier über die Geschlechterparität reden oder sowas. Und dann kannst du halt Zeit nehmen für andere Themen. Ne? Nicht Prunky, nee, ich kenn da wen anders, aber das kann halt tatsächlich öfter mal Zeit klauen, wenn solche Themen in den Vordergrund gerückt werden, weil man ja oft bei Veranstaltungen eine begrenzte Zeit hat. Ja, das geht dann über einen Abend oder so und wenn du die Hälfte des Abends damit füllst, dass du über so etwas reden möchtest, dann kannst du halt die Zeit der anderen Themen damit verringern.
Ich unterstelle jetzt einem René Wolf nicht, dass er Kulturkampf gegen Vogue macht. Da gibt es andere KandidatInnen.
Die meint mich.
Ich glaube, er meint das an der Stelle richtig, weil es ein bürgerliches Mittel ist, welches das System bestätigt.
Mich ärgert diese Binarität dabei übrigens. Ich weiß, das wird sie jetzt als Provokation verstehen, aber ich würde mir da eine Non-Binarität wünschen. Dass es nicht nur gibt, du machst Kulturkampf oder du bist gegen Kulturkampf oder links, rechts oder Klassenkampf, nicht Klassenkampf, Und dass du nicht bei jedem Thema, wenn einer sagt, ich glaube, das Gendern bringt nichts, dass du dann sagst, okay, also die Leute, die gendern, sind die Linken, die sind cool. Und die Leute, die sagen, Gendern ist doof, das sind die Rechten, die wählen tendenziell AfD. Ne? Und dass man da nicht noch weitere Optionen finden kann. Dass man zum Beispiel auch sagt, aus einer sprachlichen Sicht ist diese Art zu gendern halt irgendwie komisch. Oder wenn es mehr als 2 Geschlechter gibt, dann erklär mir doch erstmal, was ein Geschlecht ist und was die anderen Geschlechter für eine Aufgabe haben. Man kann ja auch sagen, wir haben 2, das ist was Biologisches und das andere kannst du machen, wie du willst, aber das ist egal. Benenn dich um, von mir aus, mach das. Wenn du sagst, ich hätte gern ein anderes Pronomen, mach das von mir aus. Aber wo ist es wirklich ein Geschlecht, wenn du sagst, ich bin eine Frau, aber ich trage gerne Jungsklamotten oder ich fahre gern Skateboard oder so. Ist es dann ein neues Geschlecht oder erweiterst du einfach die Range, die in diesem Geschlecht möglich ist, außerhalb von den Geschlechterrollen? Weil die kannst du ja ablegen. Ja, ich kenne viele Leute, die ihrer traditionellen Geschlechterrolle nicht entsprechen. Ich ja auch nicht so ganz. Also ich bin ja auch nicht so ein typischer Mann. Ja, wenn man so einen Nathan fragt, wenn er diese Tafel malt und sagt, was ist ein Mann, dann sagt er hier Grillen und Fußball. Ja, mache ich alles nicht. Bin trotzdem ein Mann. Ja? Das ist, ich finde, das wird einfach von der falschen Seite aufgezogen. Und mich ärgern No-Debate-Policies generell. Es ist bei allen Seiten. Wenn jemand einfach sagt, das ist so und da wird jetzt nicht weiter diskutiert. Das hat mich als Kind schon aufgeregt. Fand ich als Kind schon scheiße. Wenn Lehrer zum Beispiel einfach gesagt haben, das dürft ihr jetzt nicht, ich will jetzt nicht diskutieren und du hast halt gemerkt, das war dumm. Und wenn jetzt Sarah kommt und unwissenschaftlichen Quatsch redet, dann kann ich auch sagen, ist Quatsch. Und wenn sie dann sagt, nee, das ist aber so. Wenn Sarah jetzt sagt, es gibt mehr als 2 Geschlechter, so, dann will ich vielleicht als jemand, der mein Leben lang gehört hat, dass es 2 gibt, einfach mal fragen, okay, und welche sind es? Wie funktioniert das? Wie viele? Und da wird dann ja sehr oft mit Wut reagiert, sobald man die falschen Fragen stellt oder zu lange fragt. Also man darf einmal fragen, dann kriegt sie ihre Redezeit und da sagt man dann am Ende, okay, du hast recht, hast mich überzeugt. Das ist der Weg, wie man es machen kann. Aber wenn man sagt, hast mich irgendwie nicht so ganz überzeugt, dann wird sie sauer. So ein bisschen wie bei stark religiösen Menschen. Wenn ihr mit so Zeugen Jehovas redet, dann ist das halt auch so. Wenn ihr denen zu lange Fragen stellt, dann werden die irgendwann ungehalten. Ne? Und hier ist es so ähnlich. So, es wird einfach eine Behauptung aufgestellt und selbst wenn ich dann sage, aber die Biologen, mit denen ich geredet habe, sagen was anderes, dann wird sie sauer und dann blockiert sie einen. Und genauso sieht man das aber auf der anderen Seite. Du hast auch irgendwelche Rechten, die leugnen den Klimawandel, die erzählen dir irgendwas über Menschenrassen und wenn du dann auch sagst, ey, über die beiden Themen habe ich aber auch mit Naturwissenschaftlern geredet und die sagen auch, dass du da großen Quatsch erzählst, die werden dann auch sauer und dann sagen, ja, aber der Schwarze benimmt sich nicht oder sowas, ne? Und dann sagt man, ja, das hat nichts mit der Ethnie zu tun. Ne? Und Menschenrassen gibt es halt auch nicht. Dann werden die wiederum sauer. Oder wenn die sagen, Klimawandel, gibt es auch 3 Wissenschaftler, die was anderes sagen. Ja, und bei dem anderen Thema, hier, da gibt es tausende Biologen, die 2 sagen und dann kommt Sarah und sagt, es gibt ja aber diesen einen Dr. Voss. Sexualwissenschaftler ist er, glaube ich. Ich glaube, der ist gar kein Biologe, ne? Der ist irgendwie Sexualtherapeut oder irgendwie sowas. Und der wird dann immer rangezogen und sitzt dann im Interview bei Finessi oder so und sagt, ja, ganz viele. Aber ja, es ist halt so schade, dass man da Dr. John Money, stimmt, den gibt's auch manchmal, ja. Aber es sind gar nicht so viele, ne? Und es ist so schade, dass man nicht einfach sich an das Zitat von Julian Nieder-Rümelin hält, Finger weg von jeder Politisierung der Wissenschaft. Dass man sagt, die Wissenschaft kommt zuerst, die steckt die Rahmenbedingungen ab, die nennt die Fakten